Now, the leader of the Liberal Democrats has said she will do whatever she can and work with anyone to prevent Brexit. Speaking ahead of her party's autumn conference, Jo Swinson has reiterated her opposition to Scottish independence, saying a second referendum would pour more chaos on Scotland. She's speaking to our Westminster correspondent, David Porter.
Jo Swinson, we know an election is coming. What is the message? Why should people vote for the Liberal Democrats in Scotland?
The Liberal Democrats are very clear on Brexit. We want to stop Brexit, and we go into any general election, whenever it comes, with the clarity of saying if a Liberal Democrat majority government is elected, we will revoke Article 50 and make Brexit stop. And we also say very clearly that we are a party that values Scotland's place in the United Kingdom. We want a strong Scotland in a strong United Kingdom at the heart of the European Union.
So, very simply, you are a unionist party for the UK and for the European Union?
We're a party that stands up for Scotland's place in our family of nations and for our place in the European Union, absolutely.
It may well be a hung parliament. If it is a hung parliament, as a Remain party, will you be willing to work with others, with Labour and the SNP, to try and ensure that the UK stays within the European Union?
As I have done over the last 3 years, I will work with others who want to stop Brexit to make sure we protect our place in the European Union. Liberal Democrats have been consistent on this from right after the referendum in 2016, and at that point it was quite a minority position, but over the years we have brought others onto that ground, including nearly a year ago the SNP joined the People's Vote campaign, and we welcomed their conversion to that cause, along with working with people in Labour and the Conservative parties and the Greens to collectively immediately now put a stop to the idea of a no-deal Brexit, but also so that we can have a people's vote to stop Brexit altogether.
But does that mean you could see something more formal at Westminster between your parties?
Well, I think we are working constructively together on a cross-party basis. Over the summer we have had meetings, we have had conference calls, we have had online communication. Those channels are well established, and we have our differences. I disagree with the SNP on the issue of independence. I disagree with Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party because I want to stop Brexit and he wants to deliver a Labour Brexit. So we will work where we agree, and those who share our values are always welcome to join us, as of course so many people have been doing from both Labour and the Conservative parties, and tens of thousands of people right across the country.
You've had a number of MPs who have joined you. Are you talking to any Scottish MPs from other parties about the possibility of them joining your party?
Well, private conversations that I have with MPs will always remain private. The decision to change parties is a very personal decision, and it's not an easy decision for people to make. So you'll appreciate why I'm not going to give any details on who might be involved in those conversations. But I would just say I speak to MPs from different parties all the time, and there are many MPs who are desperately unhappy in both the Conservative and Labour parties as they head off to the far left, or in the case of the Conservatives, chasing Nigel Farage and the Brexit Party.
The other big issue in Scotland, the perennial big issue in Scotland, is independence. It is likely we could see calls for a second independence referendum. Do you agree with your predecessor, if there is a second independence referendum and it votes for independence, that before independence comes about there would have to be another confirmatory vote?
David, I don't believe that Scotland's best future is outside of the UK. I believe we are better in the UK, and I will always fight for that. And so I don't want to see a second independence referendum, and I'll remain firm in that position. I'm going to stand up for Scotland's place in the UK and a UK in the EU. We can still deliver that, particularly if we work with others where we agree.
No, but if it comes, do you believe there ought to be almost like a second lock?
I don't I don't even want to be talking about the idea of an independence referendum, which would pour more chaos on an already very precarious situation. You know, businesses in Scotland that are trying to get investment, they're trying to make recruitment decisions, you know, all of that uncertainty that India F2 would provide. What Brexit has shown us is that breaking up is hard to do, and I don't think we should unleash more chaos on the Scottish people and the Scottish economy.
Jo Swinson talking there to our Westminster correspondent David Porter.